Here we go. We're alive. Recording video for the first time. This is pretty cool.
What up?
Episode 3. Doing video for the first time.
What the Sci-Fi?
And here we are.
Welcome to episode 3 of What the Sci-Fi.
What the Sci-Fi? I'm going to just eat these real quick.
Been one of those days.
So how are you doing today?
I'm a little tired. It's been a long week. But, you know, gotta get the grind on.
Yeah.
How's your week, man?
It was good, but I did a lot yesterday. So, yeah, I had a late night last night. That was a little frustrating.
Yeah.
But I mean, no, it was fun. We had fun, but it was a late night, and I was expecting to get some more sleep so I could be here a little earlier.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I gotta say, man, I'm a little excited that we're finally in the studio.
Yeah. So this is our studio, everyone. This is the Upside Down.
The Upside Down.
Yeah.
I like it. For those of you who are Stranger Things fans, it's one of my favorite Netflix shows. Speaking of Stranger Things, like, do you, where do you think have you seen the third season yet?
The trailer?
No, the third season. Like,
I thought they only had 2 seasons.
3. They have 3.
When did the third one come out?
Sometime last year, I believe. Late last year.
No, they only have 2 seasons.
Okay, so Stranger Things season 3.
What the Sci-Fi, dog? Yeah,
Yeah, so we got it released in July 4th, 2019, season 3 right here.
Really? The hell? I don't remember.
Dude, they recorded like crazy, man.
Yeah.
But when you think of it, they're growing up. These kids are growing up fast.
Yeah.
But I liked how in Stranger Things you can see like a variety of things. Like we were talking earlier about music and stuff, about bands, how you can tell from how bands can where they got their sound from.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of like that with Stranger Things and movies, is that you kind of get their style, you know, like you can see like Back to the Future, Ghostbusters, all the good oldies movies and stuff.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite shows. Do you like it? Are you a fan?
Oh, I like Stranger Things. I think it was real good. I like Winona Ryder. I think she was cool. The child actors are really good. They're obviously remind me of the Goonies, I think, for the most part.
I never watched the Goonies.
Okay. Yeah, I tried to rewatch the Goonies, and I don't really care for it too much.
Okay. What is the premise of it? What is it exactly?
It's a child adventure thing where they just go on these adventures.
Interesting. I wonder what platform it's on.
When I watched it, it was like AMC it was on.
AMC. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll check it out. Yeah, like I was saying with Stranger Things, like you can tell like where they get the directors get their vision from, and I really like how from season to season, like you're really starting to like vibe with the kids and kind of root for them and see their journey, and especially Will, you know, the kid that just keeps on getting fucked over, you know.
Yeah.
And near the, you know, I'm not gonna give away spoilers, but it's just cool. His storylines are pretty awesome. What was your I mean, right now it's Star Trek, but when you were a kid, what was your favorite sci-fi show?
Probably Star Trek. I mean,
Star Trek, yeah.
but as far as sci-fi goes, I count like the cartoons that we'd watch. I mean, I was a big Spider-Man fan, and
The
actually,
animated Spider-Man show, man.
yeah, that was a classic. Yeah, I love that show.
Yeah.
I did a little research on that, but probably research a little more. Yeah, the animated Spider-Man was pretty good.
I really liked how in the animated Spider-Man, especially near the end, you get to see like the X-Men come in and the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it was the first MCU.
Right.
Yeah.
And even you get to see Stan Lee.
Yeah.
In it.
Yeah.
And
that was in the Earth dimension. It was our dimension. What's our dimension called in Marvel? Earth 616? Or no, is that the Marvel one?
Well, let's see. All right. So we are in Earth 1218 in the Marvel universe.
It's nice when it's quiet.
Yeah, it is really nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, with that last episode in Spider-Man, that was pretty cool to see like Stan Lee and all the other Spider-Mans. Remember, you'd see like the Iron Spider.
Oh yeah. They had a bunch of, because Spider-Man has the multiverse. That's going to be introduced in the next phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Right now, it's not a multiverse yet.
No, hopefully they get to that point real soon. I know DC is wanting to go that route real fast, but I hope they just take their time with it. That's the whole formula with that Marvel's good at, is taking their time with it, and now they've earned the right to make these big giant leaps, and DC's just got to take their time, man. Like, they're trying to catch up to Marvel, and I'm just like, man, just take your time with it, develop the characters, and we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the whole multiverse thing really excites me, man. Like, there's so much that they can do. And
with
DC and Marvel, like, there's so much they can do. And I hope that Marvel went to outer space before they went to the multiverse.
Well, they're in outer space.
Kind of, sort of, like with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And
Thor, yeah, true. But I was kind of hoping like they'd bring in like Galactus and the Celestials more, and the Watchers.
Yeah.
But that was pretty cool, man. Like, seeing like from where they began in Iron Man to where they are now, it's pretty cool to see. And with DC, I mean, they're starting to make their movies better now. But it all takes time and patience. Now, I know you weren't much of a DC fan, but out of all the characters in DC, who did you connect to the most?
Batman.
Yeah, that's right.
I only liked Superman as a kid, like a real young kid, because I remember Dad showed us like an old Superman cartoon, like from the early days of Superman, and that was cool. But Batman was the only thing I really connected with, or not connected with. My favorite DC character was Batman.
Yeah.
Yeah, from the animated. Universe and Michael Keaton.
I'm Batman.
For a long time, we never saw. What was the second one called? Batman Batman Returns. We never saw that one till like we got a little older, and then we saw.
Because I remember Mom said that it was just a little too dark for us.
Yeah. There's that, and Then Batman Forever, we liked that as kids. And then looking back, it's not very good.
Surprisingly, I did not know this, but in DC Fandome, they talked about Batman Forever a little bit.
Oh, really?
How the movie that we saw was not actually the movie that they shot.
Well, there's supposed to be a Tim Burton cut.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the whole scene where Bruce and his nightmares, that expanded more.
Oh, okay.
And
probably not enough to fix that movie, though.
Yeah. But it was much better than Batman and Robin.
Yeah,
that one sucked.
Yeah, that was the absolute worst Batman ever.
Oh my God, man.
What's your favorite of the Dark Knight trilogy?
Dark Knight, man. Dark Knight.
Oh, really? Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, that's probably got to be the best one. I mean, Dark Knight Rises, is it called?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one's good.
It is good.
Yeah.
When you go at it from the perspective that it complements all the others,
yeah,
you tend to like it a lot more. I know Rises got a lot more hate than The Dark Knight and Begins, but if you look at it from that perspective, it really does like kind of make it a well-rounded story. I really liked Bane.
Yeah.
In that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
And just to see how methodical he is and how much of a physical presence he really is, that was pretty cool. And then that whole scene where he's having to climb.
Batman?
Yeah. He's having to climb that, and then he decides not to use the rope. I was like, dude. And you know me, I don't like heights, so that would be very hard for me to do. I wouldn't be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, I think rock climbing is a different type of heights. That's like I work in heights. I'm an iron worker in San Diego, and it actually took me some getting used to because when I was 18, I had no problem getting on steel, and I had no problem walking iron and doing all kinds of things. And then when I got back to doing ironworking, 6 years later, I developed like a fear of heights, and it was weird. And then, so I froze, and then not too much longer after, I started working on a crane, and then that kind of broke my fear of heights again because I was like, man, I got to do this. This is the part of the work that I like the most. And now I'm scared of it for some reason. So it was weird. And then I knocked out of it, but now I'm like real cautious but I can move fast on steel now.
And I've been thinking about this, about the whole concept of fear. And it's our minds overplay it all the time.
Yeah.
We always think of the worst possible outcome. And Will Smith talked about this on his YouTube channel, how he's pushing 50 now, and he is 50, he's past 50 probably, and he was talking about how fear just stops us from enjoying life.
Yeah.
If we tell ourselves no, we skip out on opportunities to grow. And there's this one video that he did on his YouTube channel where he literally jumped out of a helicopter and he dangled, and those are just things. Man, it, bro. I just want to be able to do it. I close up, my mind would go crazy. I want to be able to do it, but I applaud people who are able to break through that barrier of fear. Because, it does really, it freezes you, and you think of like dying right then and there. You don't want to die. It's a natural human instinct to survive as long as you can. But I tip my hat off to people who could do that. I tip my hat off to you, man. I can't do anything like that. Anything past, 15, 20 feet, I just can't. It's just too high.
That's kind of high, actually. But sometimes I do think about Batman at work, because like of some of the things, like how he would maneuver at heights. You know what I mean? So like that's kind of
Yeah.
Granted, he's probably doing all that stuff on the floor, but with a green screen, it's a little different with a green screen. But
Yeah.
it's fun. I mean, I could show pictures of some ironworking stuff. Actually, I showed up in the magazine, the Ironworkers magazine, for the National Ironworkers.
I remember seeing that picture.
No, it happened like 2 days ago.
Oh, that one.
No,
okay.
you're talking about the newspaper.
Yeah, that one. Okay.
Yeah, this one I show up, but it's just my name shows up in it. But there's a picture of the new SeaWorld roller coaster, and it's the tallest roller coaster in California. I didn't know
In
that.
California, I thought it was the tallest in San Diego.
Definitely the tallest in San Diego.
Yeah, I've taken a look at that. I was like, wow.
It's tall. It's
This is what I wanted to get to this too.
There's 120 stairs walking.
It's amazing how far we've come, industrial wise.
Yeah.
Like the buildings we can make now, and I know San Diego. Like we were saying, how San Diego is what we can't exceed over 500 feet.
Yeah, 500 feet over because of the airport.
The airport right there.
Yeah.
Yes.
We're 10th most dangerous airport in the world to land.
Wow.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
That's on the History Channel. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. So, do you think that we will be able to get to the point, technology-wise, where we can have like flying cars and shit? Like, do you think that'd be pretty cool?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I would think that the way the world's going and with global warming and things, like we're going to be more focused on how to not use gasoline, If that's the case. I mean, there's a lot of partisan things involved, and for the most part, right wings, they don't believe that we're in a global warming crisis, and then so they're gonna want to burn oil as much as they can, and lace their pockets, But
Right. It would be cool if, like, we could get our power for the cars from like the sun and stuff like that, and
yeah.
that could help.
But
with
no matter what we do, we're gonna be damaging the Earth.
greenhouse emissions.
But it'll just be a little less.
A little less.
A lot
But
less.
This is what I don't get though, is people say how the U.S. is really bad on green emissions, but we're better than anybody else in the world. You think
Not
you look
anybody.
at China,
No.
you look at Mexico, you look at India,
But Europe,
Europe though, yeah, Europe's got.
like the continent in general, are more savvy when it comes to even healthcare and things like that, and they don't seem to have a problem, And
I think it would really help us, man, just in flying and shit. We would be able to get to places a lot quicker, and
what about the Hyperloop?
Hyperloop? What's that?
Check that, look that up on YouTube real quick. The Hyperloop from Elon Musk.
He's making a Starship. Did you hear that? That's Starship too.
It's called Starship.
Yeah.
Yeah. The carry. I don't know if it's to carry people to
To
Mars.
the moon.
Or,
I think it's to the moon first. He wants to go to the moon first and then to Mars. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So basically, it go like 700 miles an hour, like in a tube.
What the fuck is this?
So you get from like New York to California in 3 hours.
Holy hell!
Yeah.
Is it safe? Like
I mean, they've done tests on it in Las Vegas and stuff.
I know he was thinking about going through the Earth. Like
That might be what he's talking about.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta say, man, out of everyone on Earth, like he reminds me most of Tony Stark.
Yeah.
Like, he is. I mean, he's not that very bashful and arrogant kind of personality.
Yeah.
He's a lot more soft spoken, and it's kind of hard to tell exactly what he's thinking. But dude, the shit that goes through this guy's mind, like,
Did you see Neuralink?
no, dude, you're throwing off shit that's completely off kilter for me. What is that?
Neuralink is a little trippy because it's it's his design to.
Instead of speaking, like we talk with our minds.
Yeah, but it's a
Oh fuck!
it's a computer chip in your brain. Yeah,
Count me out, ladies and gentlemen.
that's the one thing I'm like, okay, it's interesting, but
Fuck.
no, yeah, because at that point, you know, he's talking about okay, you could speak telepathically. You know, you could instead of having a phone, you could just like look at things, and you know, you can check your messages like without just looking in the sky. You know.
See, this is where I draw the line on that, man, is that it just reminds me too much of Terminator, where just AI is just so advanced where it could take over, and I'm just that's definitely a fear of mine of machines taking over society, and man, yeah, I'm not down for that. I really hope that we as human beings can get to the point where we focus more on how to improve humanity instead of how to improve machinery as much. You know, we need to really improve on our intellectual skills and living more peacefully with each other, especially nowadays, man. We really need to get better at that, and we need to. I think, like, okay, so Joe Rogan was talking about this, how we as humans, we are not built to live in large cities, and we need to have like more space, and like places like New York and LA. It's just a little too congested, you know. So I mean, I kind of agree with him on that a little bit. I don't really like huge cities. Like, I've been in LA, I've been in downtown LA, and you know, obviously downtown San Diego, but I've never been to New York. Have you?
No, I'd like to go to New York.
Yeah, I'd like to as well. I'm just not much of a nightlife kind of guy.
Yeah.
But it's pretty amazing. Like I said before, it's pretty amazing to see where we've come as a society. You know, when we've made these huge ass buildings. I don't even know how large the buildings are in New York. Do you know?
Well, the tallest one in the country is the Freedom Tower,
Right.
and that's 1776 feet.
Holy hell.
Yeah.
And the largest one in the world is the one in Dubai, right?
Unless they finish the other one.
All right. So the Burj Khalifa, the building in Dubai, stands at 2,722 feet from the tip to the tip.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that's pretty freaking tall, dude. Damn.
Yeah, that'd be sick to work on something like that, though. The Star Trek: The Next Generation, they had a Blu-ray release this year. So it was a re-release Blu-ray of their the 7 seasons of The Next Generation.
Awesome.
And Data, Brent Spiner, who plays him, said that he had a least favorite actor to work with. Can you guess who it was?
William Riker.
Jonathan Frakes. No,
Oh.
it was Spot.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, you would think the animals, they'd be probably hard to work with.
Wow.
So
Wow.
what I'm guessing, this is just assumption, is that most of the time Spot was on film.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably, what's it called when they do it on the spot? That was probably all on the spot acting.
Wow.
No pun intended.
Do you think that Star Trek will, after the Discovery, do you think that they'll make another show that?
Well, they're gonna make Strange New Worlds. If they keep on going on, that's the thing with Star Trek. Is Star Trek's in a real rough time right now.
Yeah.
So their Strange New Worlds is supposed to come out right now. We're in week 6 of 20 27 weeks of Star Trek right now.
Holy hell.
Yeah, so they're doing Lower Decks, which just came out. And as soon as they're finished with the last Lower Decks episode, they're going to move on to Discovery Season 3.
Okay.
So that will total 27 weeks. I don't know how many episodes is in Lower Decks, but yeah, we're at episode 6, and we'll talk about Lower Decks in a little bit. But
Wow.
oh yeah, and last week you asked me if Kronos was destroyed. Now
Yes.
when you hear the pronunciation, it sounds like Kronos, Kronos.
Right.
That's what I always hear, but it's actually Quons. And then also in the 6th Star Trek movie of the original cast, the moon blows up.
For Kronos?
Kronos, yeah.
Wow.
So they had a crisis, and that was like that brought up some racial tension with Kirk, because Kirk, he hated the Klingons, and so there's like a real distinct
He did? I never really got that from...
yeah, well, they killed his son.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So he really hates the Klingons. So it shows like a racist kind of thing going on,
Oh, fuck.
you know. And he says, let them fucking die, you know.
Oh,
Like,
my God. Wow.
yeah, so for the most part, could you pull that up again?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kirk didn't like Klingons. But he ends up dying in the as an admiral on Enterprise B.
Now, is Admiral the highest rank that you can get on an Enterprise?
Well, you don't run a ship when you're an admiral. Generally speaking, you're usually like on a base, or you're at headquarters. You know,
Huh.
yeah, you don't have a
It's
ship.
just captains. Yeah,
That's-
it's just captains.
Yeah, that's why in Star Trek Generations, he tells Picard never to take a raise, or like a promotion from captain, to stay a captain. Don't let them
Interesting.
promote you. Don't let them transfer you. And he tells Picard that.
Interesting. Never knew that.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Oh.
cool.
And then also another mistake we made last night. I made last week was the documentary we watched was actually called What We Left Behind, because What You Leave Behind is the last episode of Deep Space Nine. The documentary was called What We Left Behind.
Mm-hmm.
So then, which is a great documentary, by the way. Ira Stephen Bear was a showrunner of Deep Space Nine, and he also worked as a writer on
Battlestar Galactica.
Star Trek: The Next Generation. So
Oh.
the guy from Battlestar Galactica was Ronald D. Moore. He was a top writer of Deep Space Nine, but they both worked on The Next Generation together.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, but the head guy of Deep Space Nine was Ira Stephen Bear, and then his next right-hand man was Ronald D. Moore, who moved on to Battlestar Galactica.
Okay.
So that's kind of the same stuff that we talked about last week. And then, so we have, and Lower Decks. Let's talk about Lower Decks, right? Okay, so Lower Decks episode 6 review. Spoiler alert. This is hardcore spoilers. So in episode 6, I'm not gonna go through the whole show, but
All right.
the premise is about well, it starts off, they were doing a joke where everybody's humming the warp engine sounds in the beginning of the show, and they're like, oh, that's not how our ship sounds. It's like, duh, because that's Enterprise D's sound, you know.
So they're just kind of making fun of him.
Star Trek, yeah. So
Damn.
so then they do all that, and then like a guy walks in, a security guard, he sees them all humming these sounds, and then he attacks them because he thinks they're like possessed or something, you know. So they did bring up the Enterprise D. I forgot what they said about it. Oh, it was about the warp core sound. When Lower Decks is supposed to be in the Enterprise E era.
Mm-hmm.
So, but they also brought up the ship called Titan, which was kind of cool. That was the only thing. Towards the end, they brought up the Titan.
Now, if it's someone who doesn't have a Star Trek background like you, what is the Starship Titan?
After all the movies of Picard, which is Patrick Stewart, so there was Star Trek First Contact, Star Trek Insurrection, and Star Trek Nemesis, right? So after Nemesis, William Riker leaves to become a captain of his own ship. So William Riker, being the second in command of the Enterprise, he finally becomes a captain, and because in the show they had offered him ships and he didn't want to take them, and but he finally does, and it's the Titan.
I've always liked him.
Yeah, he's cool. I don't like him nowadays.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he very much
as a
supports-
character or as just the actor.
as a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's. I mean, he's cool. I much respect for the cast of the Next Generation, but he very much supports this, very left political movement of Star Trek right now. And
He's turning a little bit more progressive.
well, being progressive is fine, but sabotaging the writing to be progressive is not good.
Yes. I agree.
And that's what Star Trek's doing with Alex Kurtzman as the showrunner of all the Star Treks. He's the head producer. Oh, then they reference the holodeck. They bring up all the characters that were in the holodeck on Star Trek The Next Generation. And like Sherlock Holmes, Robin Hood, Sigmund Freud. I don't know who this guy is. Einstein and Da Vinci and Stephen Hawking and Socrates. Now, as far as I know, I don't remember Sigmund Freud or Socrates in The Next Generation, but all the other characters were there. And Stephen Hawking himself was actually on Star Trek The Next Generation episode as himself.
I did not watch that episode. I did not know that.
Well, Data's playing poker with Einstein and Stephen Hawking, and
Wow.
yeah, and Isaac Newton. Yeah, that was a pretty cool episode.
Damn.
So yeah, that's just like they're trying to get nostalgia. Oh, they also do another, like, they go into the holodeck, and one of the characters, he creates a holodeck program where there's kind of like a guide, and it's one of the Star Trek badges, but he talks and he's like, "Oh, hi, how's it going, everybody?" And yeah,
Oh.
yeah, he fucking takes you on a tour and tells you how to do certain things in the holodeck program. So they go out in space in the holodeck program, and they do the magnetic boots thing like they did in Star Trek First Contact. And this is something that they try to pull off nostalgia. Like, they do this on Discovery, they do this in Star Trek Picard,
And it's not helping their case.
No, it's not. It wasn't good. But so then the badge goes crazy and he becomes a psychopath murderer. His name's Badgie. Badgie is the name. Tindy is the green chick that I'm guessing is an Orion. So Orion is a species. They're green. They came from. They were first introduced in the original series in the 60s. And the badge kept on buffering. So it had like this buffering thing, and he's like, "Oh, I hate it when he does that." Here's one thing that should happen. There should be no buffering in the 24th century. If they get rid of anything, it's going to be fucking buffering,
Wow.
But
Yeah,
I mean,
it's much needed nowadays.
Oh, yeah. And but it's getting less. There's less and less buffering going on,
True.
I mean, back when the internet first came around, you're waiting like 10 hours for, like at least an hour for a song to download.
Dial-up, man.
Yeah.
The dial-up days.
Yeah, I remember the dial. Yeah.
Man. And that sound, the doo dee doo.
Oh, yeah.
It's like it's ringing, Now, especially with 5G rolling out now, I have a phone that my boss just gave me, a work phone, and it has 5G on it. And it's pretty fast. It's pretty fucking fast. And with my personal phone, I got the LTE. But yeah, it's pretty fast. Do you think that we will get to the point with 5G where it's just instant, like right when you click onto it, it's already loaded up. Like there's not even a black screen. It's just bam.
I don't know. I don't know what 5G will do. You know, there's a lot of conspiracy around 5G right now, but it might turn out to be a bad thing. So we'll see. You know, we'll see what comes out when 5G is more around here. Let me finish my little notes here real quick.
All right.
I'll edit that out. Me saying that, but so yeah, that badge he turns psychopath. He's trying to kill the two characters. There's a couple funny moments from the badge, and the B plot was like some plasma type device starts gathering more like things from the ship,
Mm-hmm.
and it becomes bigger. It's like a monster thing. They shoot it out into space out of the airlock. Now they do this airlock thing. They do this in Discovery, and they do this in I don't remember in Picard, but in Lower Decks and Discovery, they used the airlocks in the ships, but to push people and things out.
Right.
They didn't do that in Star Trek. That came from Battlestar Galactica.
So you think that it's them not bringing any new fresh perspectives out, and they're just taking from other people?
Yeah. Well, there's parts of Discovery that completely rip off Game of Thrones.
Really?
Yeah.
I wouldn't think that.
Like full blown scenes.
Expand on that.
It's kind of hard to describe without me having watched them, but like because I don't watch Game of Thrones. I just watched this YouTube video about it.
Yeah.
So
well, I know Game of Thrones. I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan.
Oh,
but,
okay.
You just say something, and I can probably.
let me look
Going
it up
from there.
for you. Let me look it up.
Okay. Yeah, for me, it's Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings. I'm really good. Yeah, I can definitely see where you're getting that info from. That's definitely frustrating. It's not a fresh new perspective. You would want directors and writers to come out with their own rendition, not just piggyback off of Battlestar Galactica and Game of Thrones. Not saying that, they probably piggybacked off of other shows too, maybe, but that I'm unaware of. But, wow.
Mhm.
I did not
There's
know
a
that.
scene that fully rips off Game of Thrones.
Jeez,
Not that
man.
one, because it's with some their first captain on the Discovery. They go into the alternate timeline. He come to find out he's from the alternate timeline where the humans are bad, and he does this thing where he kicks somebody into a hole like they do exactly in Game of Thrones.
Wow.
And like the whole scene plays out the same way. Like there's something where, say her name, I guess, in the scene. I don't know if you remember that. But it completely rips it off.
I want to go more away from Star Trek now. Do you think?
I have a lot more Star Trek stuff.
Yeah,
Have you seen Rick and Morty?
I've seen parts. Parts of it.
That's
Watched the whole thing.
That's a funny show. That's a good show, and it's the same creator that does Lower Decks.
Mm-hmm.
But he does two shows. He does Rick and Morty and Solar Opposites with another guy, and that's the guy that's the voice of Rick and Morty. Those two shows are really good, but this Lower Decks is not.
Maybe the next episode it could be a whole episode of Star Trek stuff. That would be pretty cool. You want to do that? Do a whole episode?
We
of
do
Star
a lot of Star Trek. I mean, unless something big comes out,
Trek. Yeah.
like Alex Kurtzman punches another TV, then
Yeah, I
we'll talk
remember you
about
telling me that.
Yeah, 6 months ago, there's a video of Doomcock who said which is Overlord Land, I think it's called, is his channel, but it's Doomcock. You look up Doomcock, he'll show up. He was saying how Alex Kurtzman punched the TV because of leaks coming out for Strange New Worlds, and all the leaks on Picard were accurate.
Really?
Yeah. So, and he was saying how he hates Doomcock, who's a YouTuber. And then he said
Jeez.
that if these leaks keep coming out, all of Section 31, that's another show that they're going to do. All of Section 31's writers, all of them are going to be fired. And then somebody said, oh no, and then he's like, and you won't be able to work anywhere ever again in this town. And then somebody said, except the Orville. And then he got fucking pissed about that. And that's where he supposedly punched the TV.
The Orville's a really good show. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't gone on to finish the rest of the first season, but what I've watched, I really did like.
Yeah.
/ a comedy / sci-fi.
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty good. It's a lot like Galaxy Quest, but he did it great. He did a great sci-fi comedy. You don't have to take too seriously, but it's like it's fun, and it shows respect to Star Trek, really. You know, because Seth MacFarlane is a big Star Trek fan. You know, and actually, there's rumors of him buying the franchise, and it would be with Universal, and that would be
what franchise?
The Star Trek franchise. Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and I mean, I would think he would be the better boss for Star Trek.
Do you think he would be probably like a Kevin Feige for them?
Oh yeah, I mean he knows Star Trek. He knows the history. He knows like the rules. There's rules. There's rules in a universe. You can't. Spider-Man can't walk through walls. You know what I mean? So
yes.
Klingons don't fucking eat people, and that's what they do in Discovery.
Are you kidding me? Wow.
They're like cannibals and shit. Yeah. But they're not cannibals because that would be eating your same species, but they eat like other species.
Yeah, and with all the shit that we're talking about on shitting on Discovery, man, it makes me want to watch that less and less. I don't really want to.
And I think what they did was they're trying to retcon themselves because they go to the 32nd century or something on the end of season 2. So when season 3 comes out, they'll be way in the future, or it really doesn't matter anymore, because there's so much skipped,
I think they're skipping too much, and then
yeah, I mean, how are you gonna even guess what's gonna happen in the 32nd century? That's true. I mean, even we didn't know it. Like, say, Back to the Future. We did not know that we would not have flying cars in 2015. Now we're in 2020. We don't have flying cars.
5 years late.
We don't have shoes that tie their own strings. Like, we don't care about a lot of the things that people in the 80s thought we would care about now, because our technology is going a different way. Like, now everything's getting smaller.
Yep.
Phones
have become a lot more popular, social media, and with that, like I was telling you, it's like fire. It's like humanity having fire again. We don't know how to control it. So you get cyber bullies and...
Yeah, social media is really the problem with Earth right now. If it weren't for social media, we would not have Trump in our office.
Oh yeah.
There's no way, because Twitter is what got him elected. We wouldn't have there's some good out of it too. We wouldn't have as much
social interaction.
No, I think we'd have more social interaction without the social media, like actual interaction with live people without being on your phone while you're talking.
That's correct. Yeah, you're right.
But we wouldn't have like the whole spotlight on racism. We wouldn't have that if it weren't for social media. You know? Which is a good thing, but there's a lot of bad from it, because if you look at school shootings from the 90s to the 2000s,
very few far between
until Facebook came out. then they're like, it's almost every fucking day somebody's shooting up a school.
Jeez, man.
Yeah.
DC Fandome had their multiverse video that they were talking about last 2 weeks ago. They had the news of the movies and TV shows. These are more of the panels where they're talking about Arrow, Supergirl, and Black Lightning. And I saw a couple of videos, James Wan talking about Aquaman and the technology that he used. And it's mostly like the same technology that we use for, remember that old Robin Williams movie, Hook? You know what technology they used to make him look like he was flying? It was like this,
Cables, right?
no, not cable. No, not that I know of, but they had this like stick kind of thing that they strapped him to, and it was connected to his chest, and they would move it, and his whole body would be moving.
Oh, okay.
And swerving and stuff like that. That's the kind of thing they use for Aquaman. And they were also talking about the official name for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Apparently, WB didn't like that name, Zack Snyder's Justice League, because it made it seem like he owned the Justice League. So they changed it to Justice League, the Director's Cut. Which,
either way, it's cool.
Yeah, I don't really care about the damn name. All I care about is that we fucking get the movie, ladies and gentlemen.
Either way, he's gonna get the credit for it being his cut.
Yes. The Zack Snyder cut, man, it has been years in the making. The fans have tallied their responses. They have spoken, and the result is that WB finally caved, and they're giving the fans and Zack Snyder what they wanted, what he wanted, and that is for his movie to be unedited. Warner Brothers at the start only wanted the movie to be 2 hours long. Zack Snyder laughed at that, and he said, no, I want it to be 4 hours long. I don't really care how long a movie is. I'm going to watch the whole damn thing. But he's finally getting it. Like WB with HBO Max, he's not going to be able to be told. He's not going to be told that he can't do something. It's not going to be a 4 hour straight cut movie first thing. It's going to be 4 episodes. But I tell you, man, I'm so excited to see his vision come to pass. I'm so excited just as an artist, because when you think of movies are art, music, and for someone to tell you you can't do that, kind of sucks. I mean, obviously, because they're putting their money behind it.
Yeah.
But still, man, if you're giving them the money to do their fucking job, let them do their fucking job, man. Come on.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, but labels, I don't really mess with labels, like I just do know that they have restrictions, and they'll, you have to write so many songs. You have to, like, for an album, well, back in the day, you'd had to write a bunch
10 or 12 songs, right?
Yeah, but you'd write like 20 or 30. And then,
holy hell.
And they'd cut that many to get down to 12.
Now, can they release those songs at a later period? Like for another album or or a deluxe edition? Usually bands do that too. They'll release the same album but with 3 or 4 different other songs.
Yeah, most bands will basically scrap them,
Holy shit.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time and money wasted, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, but they have to write for the fans and to make money,
Right.
That's their job, is to entertain, it's not, certain bands can get away with experimenting, like Tool, the way they wrote their newest album, so Tool will do this. Tool will write all the music, and then the singer won't even I don't know if he won't start writing until the other three have agreed. So it will take them, like with the last album, it took so many years till they agreed on the entire Fear Inoculum album, And then Maynard James Keenan, the singer of Tool, he has a ranch and he has a vineyard in Arizona, and then he recorded his vocals there. Yeah.
And this is the other good thing about technology, guys, is that it's much easier to do everything nowadays. Like you don't have to necessarily be in the studio to record music now.
No, a lot of voice actors, they're doing it in their closets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, man. The age that we're in.
Yeah, like we're technically not in a recording studio.
Yep.
This is a lockout. It's called it's the lockout. So this is where a bunch of bands get together and play, and I play with a few guys and we're trying to get a band together right now.
Yeah. We were able to put this all together, man, though. But I am so appreciative of all the hard work you've done to get this going, and it's taken a lot of patience on your part, and I gotta say, man, it's pretty amazing to see what you can do when you have a set goal and you just go for it. You don't take no or for an answer, or how tired you are for an answer, and you just keep going with it, man.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to talk about this since we started the podcast, but I'm really into aliens and all that stuff, and I'm really into thinking about like other life on other planets and everything. Do you think that there are aliens out there, Jason?
Yes.
Hoorah.
Yeah, no, I do. I think that, with the amount of space that's out there, like it would be kind of strange if there wasn't life out there, because there's so much. I mean, unless we're going to be around for another 5,000 years or even more, then we're not going to get to those places.
And this is the sad thing, is as progressive as we are with all this other technology that we're building, we're not really expanding too much outside of the earth.
Yeah.
I think, like, when you think of how, like you were just saying, how big the universe is, the galaxies are, dimensions. I mean, we haven't even gone past our solar system yet.
Yeah.
We haven't even gone past the moon.
Yeah.
So I'm really excited with...
Not us, but our technology has gone out of the solar system.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The 2 Voyagers actually left this year.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think it's cool. I mean, but they're not. I mean, I don't know what else they're gonna find. You know what they did? They did realize, right? Is that the sun has an atmosphere.
What?
Yeah. So the sun, basically, all the planets in the solar system are in this bubble. That's called the heliosphere.
The sun has its own atmosphere. Wow.
Yeah, the heliosphere. So it's a vast bubble-like region of space that surrounds and is created by the sun. So it basically goes all the way around all the planets, and I wonder if that's what you see when you're looking at a star. If you're not actually seeing this, well, you probably see this, but I'm sure all stars have a heliosphere.
Yeah. As far away as the sun is to us, you can still get a sunburn.
Yeah. Well.
Oh my God.
It's our magnetic field that blocks a lot of the solar rays. We're getting a lot of protection from our atmosphere.
Yeah.
Do
you think that we need to work more on our rocket propulsors and engines in order to go faster and farther into space, and so that it won't take us several months to get to Mars?
Yeah, I mean, unless we come up with light speed, we got to figure out how to come up with light speed. We're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, we're
like
not.
because okay, so light travels 8 minutes from the sun to Earth, which is 93 million miles. So it's 5 trillion miles in a light year.
Doesn't really matter until we get to that light year. Once we do that, we're in business.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we can go to other planets, other galaxies, universes.
if we could even go the speed of light, and if we could go the speed of light, and we're able to be in space for 10 years, like humans can live there, then it would take 4 years to get to the nearest star.
That's going at the speed of light.
Yeah.
Damn. 4 years. That's crazy, man. That is crazy. So maybe we should just stick to our solar system for a little while.
But yeah, I mean, we really have no choice. So,
Yeah.
I mean, there is some very interesting things in our solar system.
Or you can even take a step further, ladies and gentlemen. You can think of going through a wormhole.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know what technology we could use to get to the next planet. And if an alien has gotten to us, then
we're fucked.
well, I mean, it depends. I mean, the aliens that people think have visited us, I mean, they haven't done any damage if they have visited.
Did you hear what the government was saying about that?
No.
They said that they found wreckage of different metals that are not of Earth.
Oh, yeah. Elements and stuff.
Yeah.
And
I think that if there was other life, I also think that there are probably aliens here on Earth we just don't see. That they're just probably amongst us. Who knows? Who knows? And who knows? Like Joe Rogan was saying, they're probably among us and we don't even know. They've probably been studying us.
yeah.
Who knows? I mean, I'm not one into conspiracy theories, but, I'm not going to knock them. I'm going to be like, oh, yeah, that could be a possibility. It's good to entertain it. It would be pretty amazing, though, to see one. Go to Area 51. Now, what do you think about that whole Area 51 raid that went on about a year ago now?
Yeah, that was the
That was hilarious, man.
yeah, they just ended up partying out there, they're I'm sure if somebody actually stormed Area 51, well, they'd get killed, but
The Air Force was ready.
yeah, I mean, they had people feeding them and giving them drinks and stuff like that. The officers were nice and they pretended to raid it, and it was basically a rave. It was like a desert little trip.
It was the stupidest thing I heard on the internet, man. I was like, are you kidding me? It is the most secured location that we know of. I mean, there could be more that we don't know of. There are a lot more heavily guarded. Now, do you know that there's a seed vault in case it's a fail-safe seed storage facility built to stand the test of time and the challenge of natural or man-made disasters. So if anything were to blow up in the earth, due to a nuclear fallout, they would be able to bring back these plants and be able to bring back life.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so here it is. That's the picture of it right there.
Oh wow, that's cool.
Did you ever see that before?
No.
It's heavily guarded. They don't want anyone going over there.
North Pole?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
And you also think there's something else I'd like to talk about too. Since we're talking about like the government and facilities and all that, there is a machine, and you probably know this. I'm trying to remember the name of it. It's a hadron collider. It's borders around. It's around Switzerland, and basically it takes matter and stuff that they're talking about. They're even talking about like dark matter and stuff like that, and about affecting time and space.
It was built by European Organization for Natural Research between 1998 and 2008 in collaboration with 10,000 scientists in hundreds of universities and laboratories, as well as over 100 countries. It lies in a tunnel 27 kilometers in circumference, as deep as 574 feet beneath France and Switzerland border.
Holy hell.
Um,
So they're with this machine, they're hoping to open up a portal to a unknown universe.
Oh, that's horrible. Learning about space and time, in particular, the interrelation between quantum mechanics and general activity. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. I mean, if they could discover things that are, portals to different universes, that'd be nice.
Like we were just talking about how open up wormholes to go through like space faster. That's exciting, but you also are afraid of something else coming out from the other side.
Yeah, or where
We could
you
just end up
actually-
screwing ourselves over.
Yeah, I mean, but that's got to be science. They really don't know what they're messing with when they do that. you
Yeah,
know?
they don't.
It could be nothing at all.
So going over to DC again, we're going to be talking about DC fandom a little bit more. Doom Patrol. You guys haven't watched that show. It's a pretty cool show. It's about a band of misfits, people who have powers in the DC universe. Kind of like Suicide Squad a little bit. Almost like Suicide Squad. Not exactly. Slash Titans. And you got Cyborg in it. You got... you ever watched the Titans cartoon show?
No.
No?
Yeah.
Well, they just got renewed for a third season on HBO Max. They moved it from DC Universe streaming app over to HBO Max, and HBO Max gave them a third season.
So it's a new show. I didn't know that.
Yeah, well, they've been around for a while. 2 seasons now. They got renewed. They also, for DC Fandom news, they also moved Wonder Woman, ladies and gentlemen, for the 5th time now. It's going to be coming out December 25th of this year. That's exactly 2 years later after the initial release. They were supposed
It's coming
to
out this year.
Yes.
Huh, that's weird.
It was supposed to come out in October. Sorry, yeah. November of last year.
So that must not be COVID related. That must be because if it was supposed to come out in November last year, they should have already had filming done last year,
Yes.
like a couple months
So
before.
something's going on. I don't know what is going on. Hopefully the movie comes out, but that would be pretty cool. I mean, I am a Wonder Woman fan. I like Wonder Woman. I think it's much needed for the little girls in this country to look up to a woman like that, a superhero, and be able to know that they matter and that their voice is heard, and they have someone to look up to and aspire to. Among other news in DC Fandom, the Flash movie, they're going to be bringing in a lot more characters. We don't know exactly who else. They already have Ben Affleck, and they have Michael Keaton coming in.
I'm Batman.
It's going to be Flashpoint related, like I talked to you before in the first episode. They're going to be talking about bringing in these different Batmen and seeing how that correlates with Barry changing the universe. And there's talking about how it might kill Ben Affleck's Batman, which, I do like the Nolan's Batman, but I just liked Ben Affleck's Batman better.
Yeah.
Just older,
He's not older. No way.
This Batman was around for 20 years.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So because is Ben Affleck older than Christian Bale?
I believe so. He is. Let's do some.
We need our assistant to look that up.
Yes.
We don't have an assistant.
All right. So Ben Affleck is 48 years old. So let's look at, what was the other guy's name? Christian Bale. All right. So Christian Bale is 46 years old. 2 years difference.
Wow. I didn't realize Ben Affleck was that. He's not even really that old.
Yeah, he's not.
Yeah.
He's actually looking good too. Like he's changed his diet around,
Mm.
and he's a lot thinner.
Mm.
He's in shape.
Oh wow.
Actually, in Batman shape right now, more so than, in my opinion, Robert Pattinson. But I'll give the guy some credit. I'll give him a chance. The Batman teaser looks good. Did you watch it?
Yeah, I liked it.
I
liked the Nirvana in it.
Yes.
That was dope.
Now, what song is that?
Something in the Way is a song.
It kind of has the Nolan/Tim Burton look to it,
Yeah.
and I'm really excited about
I
that.
just don't see how you don't work out for a Batman role.
Maybe he was just blowing smoke. Maybe he actually has been working out. We haven't really been seeing him bare-chested. He's been covering up, so
Yeah.
maybe that's him just screwing around with us, trolling us.
Yeah.
But-
Because technically, I mean, if you can wear the suit and not really be in that decent a shape, like
Yeah.
you could be like, like regular shape and probably pull off the suit because the suit has its own muscle contours in it.
Right, and that actually
Concaves.
brings another point. Did you ever watch the Shazam movie?
No, I didn't. Have you seen the trailer for the show The Boys? I want
Yes.
to check out that. Yeah, that looks pretty interesting. It looks
So, Zachary Levi in the Shazam suit, you could tell he did bulk up a little bit,
yeah.
but the suit was obviously just a little too big, I think. He did work out. I mean that shot looks pretty good. It doesn't look too
Yeah. It's just
bulky, but
Shazam's always looked kind of cartoony to me. I don't
yeah.
know. Is that a serious character for DC or no?
Yeah, he's DC.
Yeah, I don't know what The Boys is. Oh, and last night I noticed New Mutants is out.
Oh,
Yeah, it's got really bad ratings.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, shoot.
33.
How long has it been since they've been trying to get that movie out?
It's been a while.
So I know that they had issues with the Dark Phoenix movie.
Oh, that movie is horrible.
I think it was pretty good.
No.
I liked it.
I didn't like that.
It was better than Last Stand, in my opinion.
Which one's The Last Stand?
The third X-Men movie, the one with Jean Grey kills Professor X.
Oh, yeah, I didn't like that one
Yeah,
either.
that
Yeah.
one was horrible. Trash, dude. Trash.
But both of those, I don't see how they mess up the Phoenix so bad because both of those are Phoenixes. And I
think
I
they
love
just try
that.
to overplay it, probably,
Yeah.
But I think the actress did very well with what she had. I liked her intensity in that a lot more than the last of Dark Phoenix.
I don't know. I liked Jean Grey's portrayal. I mean, the original actress of X-Men. Like, what is your favorite X-Men movie?
I really liked X2, X-Men 2, United.
My favorite one is Logan.
Dude,
Yeah.
why'd you have to show up like that, man? Now I have to
Yeah.
have to agree with you on that.
I also really liked the one where, and a lot of fans don't like the time travel aspect of X-Men, but I really liked the one where who did Rogue have on the table? And she was like,
Days of Future Past.
yeah, I love that movie. That one.
That was good.
Yeah, that was fucking good.
And it's on Disney Plus now.
Oh, really?
So that's on Disney Plus. They got the Wolverine, the one where he's in Japan. that movie.
Oh, I like that movie.
They don't have
too.
Logan yet on there.
Oh, Logan's good though.
Even though they do have, Disney did buy 21st Century. But I guess just with contracts and all that stuff, they were probably waiting on that. But they have Fantastic Four.
Oh, okay.
And the two okay ones, and then the one Four stick, which is just horrible.
Was that the new one with?
Yeah.
Didn't that have Jordan?
Yes.
What's his name?
It was horrible. Have you watched it yet?
No.
Yeah. Don't. It's a waste of your time. You're gonna watch it. 10 minutes into it, you're gonna be like, this movie is trash.
Well, Marvel's trying to do Fantastic Four 2 again, and they're gonna have the dude from The Office is gonna be playing what's the fucking stretchy guy's name?
Mr. Fantastic.
Yeah, so the dude from The Office is gonna play Mr. Fantastic.
Finally.
Yeah,
I know who you're talking about. The guy who played in The Quiet Place.
yeah.
Did you watch that movie?
That one?
You gotta watch it, man.
Oh.
It is intense. There's barely any talking in it,
Mhm.
and that's just why it's so intense. It's about aliens and all that stuff. It's pretty intense.
I liked him as an actor. I mean,
Yeah.
he was actually supposed to be Captain America originally.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and they went
That
with-
would have been good. I mean, I'm
Yeah.
not saying that I'm not hating on Chris Evans, but I think he would be good as well.
Yeah, I mean the character of Captain America. I do like a lot of the story of Captain America. I like what they did with him in the movies, but I've never been really a big Captain America guy.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah. So that, and with X-Men coming up, like I hope that Marvel's able to do X-Men and Fantastic Four right.
Yeah. Do you think they'll actually go through with Secret Wars?
I'm not sure. Not at this moment. I don't know. I'm sure the shows will show us where they're gonna go.
True.
Yeah.
True.
Something to do with the multiverse for sure, because of the I'm shaking the camera. Because of the multiverse of madness or whatever. That
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. And that's probably my favorite Cumberbatch role, because he was Khan in Star Trek, and that I couldn't stand it. I rewatched it the other day, Into
You did?
Darkness. Oh yeah. I can't do Into Darkness. That because like so here's the thing. Look, I'm back to Star Trek again. But this doesn't really count because it's J.J. Abrams' trick. You know, J.J. Abrams, this is what he likes to do. He likes to take a franchise and completely ruin it. You know, and that's what he did with Star Wars, and that's what he did with Star Trek. And he even said that he didn't like Star Trek and that he was more of a Star Wars fan.
And he's screwing up both franchises.
Yeah. And
Wow.
and what he wanted to do was make Star Trek more like Star Wars, and it's not, you know.
It's not.
And
Nope.
So when Cumberbatch comes in and says the introduction of Khan, that's the fucking biggest joke ever, you know, where
Khan.
yeah, like, and
What?
nobody knows who Khan is. Like, if you're not a Star Trek fan, you have no idea who the fuck Khan is. Like, who gives a fuck? You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, well, I'm John, you know.
So, explain to us, who is Khan?
So Khan, here's the big thing about Khan was that he was a very beloved, like a loved character from the original series. He was in one episode, really. And what his story is, the backstory on Khan is that, so in the original series, which was created in the 60s, but it takes place in the 23rd century. So the story behind Khan is that in the 90s, around the 90s, 1990s and the early 2000s, there was a group of genetically altered humans that were they're called augments, right? And they had a war, which was the eugenics wars in the 1990s, right?
Right.
So, and Khan was like, he was basically the Hitler of those wars. So they banned him from Earth, and then, but see, they got the timeline a little fucked up because then he goes to, they ban him out to outer space, and that's where Kirk finds his ship, and they're all frozen in cryogenic, but it's really not cryogenic. They're just sleeping there because it's the 1960s and they don't really have technology to freeze people.
Oh.
So they're just like sleeping there in these little honeycomb things, and then stuff happens and they're enemies, right? But he comes back in Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan to get revenge on Kirk, and it was like one of the best made Star Trek movies.
Why would he get revenge on Kirk?
I completely forgot, but
Okay.
so because I guess because he left him on a planet or something in the 60s in the original series.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but he hates Kirk, so he's a big villain character of Star Trek, but there's not a lot of iconic characters that are villains like Khan is, but to bring him the way they did in Into Darkness was a waste of that character,
Right.
and it was completely different. Like his whole history was different. He was on Earth still.
Yeah.
They found the other augments in torpedoes that which is fine. They changed the story, whatever, but it was I don't know. It wasn't written well. They had the Section 31 brought up. They really like to pull off of Section 31. Section 31 is like a undercover organization of the Federation.
Now, I see where you're coming from. I respect it. However, I liked Star Trek Into Darkness. That was a good movie in my opinion. I liked how in that chase scene, if you haven't watched it, I'm sorry about to spoil it, but there's that chase scene where they're going into light speed, and then all of a sudden Khan's ship comes running right up to him.
Yeah.
I was like, we've never seen that before in Star Trek before. That was pretty cool. It was a little scary too.
Yeah, see,
How was he able to do that though?
I don't know. I think it was just faster. But it's weird. I don't really know about the warp, the rules of warp, and like, can you really shoot ships and go through them and run into them at warp speed? Because it's a kind of different. The warp technology is like kind of strange. It's like the ship puts a bubble around the ship, and then that bubble is going faster than light. The ship really isn't.
Interesting.
Yeah, so the ship's just in the bubble, because if not, then the theory of relativity, which Albert Einstein came up with, is that if you were to go the speed of light, then time would slow down. So then by the time you got 4 light years away, even if you went there, like, it depends on how fast you go. Let's say you went at, fast enough to where 1 year you're there, right? In 4 light.
Yeah.
So the theory of relativity says that 4 years will pass, but not for you. So then by the time you get there, it's 4 years later on the other planet.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's why they came up with the theory of warp, which the bubble goes around the ship and stops that from happening.
Did you ever watch that movie Interstellar?
I don't think I did.
With Matthew McConaughey, and he.
I don't think I did watch that.
Yeah, there's a part where he gets in the movie, he goes to like a different planet, and somehow gets mixed up with time, and he was able to finally come back to Earth but his daughter's like about to die on her deathbed, you know,
Oh,
and he's
shit.
still young.
Oh,
I was like, holy hell.
I might have seen that. Yeah, that sounds familiar. But yeah, that's probably what it is because
Wow.
yeah, that also happens in the movie The Flight of the Navigator.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
that's why he gets so much older because
Love that movie though.
yeah. I mean, he stays his age when everybody gets so much older because he
Yeah.
went the speed of light like so far and then came back and then that's why he missed 8 years.
Wow. I
Little
would not like to have that happen to me.
yeah.
Jeez.
Or it might be cool. It might be worse unless you end up in another 2020.
Oh my god. Yeah, I saw this mime the other day of Doc and Marty.
Mhm.
They're in the
Meme?
car. Yeah, the meme. And he was saying, yeah, go these different years, but wherever you do not go to 2020.
Yeah. Yeah.
So true. It's been such a bad year. Like you talk about celebrities dying, you talk about fires, you talk about racial injustice, you talk about the coronavirus. I mean, it's just been a friggin' hellwind, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Been a horrible year.
it has. But, I'm thankful that even though as negative as the world is, we have TV shows, the comic books, we have areas where we can actually just kind of forget about the world around us and just get caught in this other realm of fandom and just concentrate on that and just kind of forget the world, the crazy world that we live in right now. Do you think the world, have you ever watched the movie, what's it called? It's a virtual reality movie.
Ready Player One?
Yes. Did you watch that?
Yeah, I like that movie.
It was amazing. Do you think we'll actually get to that point where we
rewatch that.
where we actually, like, as a human race, we kind of abandon the outside world and we put on these goggles and we're in a whole different digital world? Do you think we'll get to that point?
Well, I think that would be where future technology would go, to be more lazy, more entertained, less hands-on.
It's sad.
Yeah.
But it's. I mean, I would try it, but I wouldn't live in that world.
Yeah, but everybody wants to escape the problems of the day and the bills and that's why we have so much drug abuse and medication abuse in not San Diego, in the United States,
Right.
because people want to escape their realities, which is, why I like sci-fi, is to have a good escape from what reality is,
Yeah.
and, and that's why a lot of people like sci-fi and Star Trek and Star Wars and Marvel and DC.
Now, I'm really excited about Mandalorian season 2.
Yeah.
I texted you those pictures of some pictures of season 2, and it looks like we might have a little time jump. I forgot the guy's name.
Carl Weathers.
Yeah, that guy, the black guy. And in the show, in the first season, he has a black mustache, but in season 2 photos, he has a beard that's gray.
Yeah.
So it might be a little time jump, maybe a couple of months. Baby Yoda still looks small and looks like a baby. What do you think what kind of storyline do you think they should go with Ahsoka?
I think
Ahsoka.
the way they'd bring in Ahsoka is that he's probably looking for Jedi, and then he finds Ahsoka Tano, which is probably the hardest Jedi to find at the time.
Because she's escaped the Empire and she's lived through Darth Vader probably trying to hunt her down, right?
Yeah. Darth Vader knows about her, Ahsoka Tano, if you don't know, was from the Clone Wars. She was voiced by Ashley Eckstein, if I'm saying her name correctly. She was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice, and Anakin Skywalker being Darth Vader. One of the best written characters in all of Star Wars. She's, the best female hero, but her and I do like Jyn Erso. And yeah, so by this time she went through the Clone Wars. She left the Jedi Council, and she became a kind of a rogue.
Now, how many years from the end of Clone Wars to where Mandalorian is now? How old do you think she is?
Well, it would be about Luke Skywalker's age because the end of Clone Wars is when Luke Skywalker was born.
Now, what kind
Well,
of
he'd be
race
like-
is she? Does she live for a long time?
Oh, she's Tortuga.
Tortuga.
Yeah.
And they
So,
live for a long time.
I think Legends have them living for a long time,
Okay.
but Legends, they're trying to push Legends in there. Like a lot of Legends things come out in canon because of Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau. They know Legends pretty well.
Yeah.
So, and for those of you that don't know, canon is dictated by Disney now, and there was a bunch of books and comic books and different material written that was considered canon before, but Disney scrapped all that and said that the only thing that is canon now is the movies, the 2 cartoons, which is Rebels and
Clone Wars.
Clone Wars, and then Forces of Destiny, or is that not canon?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't make the Lego movies canon. But then there's a bunch of books and legends, like the story of Han Solo and Leia's kids. It was very different from what it is on the movies.
Yeah,
Like
twins.
they had twins, and Luke Skywalker had kids.
Yeah.
If not more than one, but I'm not sure who they had ideas for what would be a second, third, 7th, 8th, and 9th movie.
It would have been nice, man, if we actually saw him as the Grand Jedi Master.
Yeah.
And training these Jedi and going on missions. Except we just got it all burning down and him giving up on the Jedi. That was just complete bullshit, man.
Yeah. And I really didn't expect that, especially the way they had left off, and then bringing the Emperor back. I mean, that completely, like, honestly, it takes away from what Darth Vader did at the end of Return of the Jedi.
Now, this just end. Daisy Ridley has exposed Disney, saying they didn't know what to do with the new Star Wars. They
Right.
just made it up as they did. They didn't even know what to do with Rey.
You could tell, like, if you were to pay attention, like,
Shit, man.
like they didn't know who Rey was. Like, they were going through ideas, and they like Daisy Ridley had said that at one time they thought she was related to Ben Kenobi at some point, and then it turned into Skywalker, like maybe she's Skywalker's kid, and then they settled on your Palpatine's granddaughter. And I saw the interview of her talking about this, and she's like, "Oh yeah, cool." Like, I guess she liked the idea of being Palpatine's granddaughter. I don't know why, but I really just think that it was a cop out for how powerful she was.
Right. I agree.
Because there's no reason for her to be that powerful. I understand you have a lot more technology since the 70s, so
Yeah.
you want to show off a little bit, and it's kind of hard to when you can't be too powerful, but you have Marvel movies on the other hand, so
Right.
it's like that's what they were trying to do with Daisy Ridley, was show off technology.
And there's some other piece of news that I've caught wind of, is that they actually had about a dozen or so endings that they were thinking about.
Oh yeah, there was some good shit for the last Star Wars.
Yeah.
Like there was a cut of R2-D2 dying.
I would have broke, man.
Yeah, that would have been real sad. But I mean, that's good writing though.
It is. Though
Yeah.
him or Chewie, man. Like I freaked out when we thought that Chewie was almost dead.
Yeah, that was sad. But then they take it back. Like they erased C-3PO's memory, then gave it back. Like they didn't stick to anything. You know,
Yeah,
the writing was very
terrible.
It was scared. Like they were scared to do something drastic. And then the stupid horse riding at the end, that was
Jeez,
dumb.
man.
And that stupid Star Wars, stupid Discovery chick. Yeah. What good can I say about that movie? I did like the Rey and Kylo Ren fighting and being able to like transfer things through the force.
What was that? I did not know what that was. I was so confused.
Yeah, they were able to pass things through the force to each other.
Wow. They're that's one thing I do gotta give them credit for is
that was the only cool
they
thing,
are
really.
making new force powers.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was in there in the comic books. I haven't read the comic books, so therefore, basically, I'm just basing off of everything I've seen on the the movies and everything.
Yeah.
So I mean that's pretty cool. The Force heal, which we saw for Baby Yoda first.
Yeah.
The Force transference, we're able to pass things through to each other. That was pretty cool. Do you think that? I mean, right now they'll be going more into the past, into like 300 years into the past.
They're talking about High Republic, and I don't know if that's movies or just books or comic books.
Maybe video games?
I think it's comic books.
Okay.
Yeah, because even video games, they took those out of being canon, and some of those are like actually pretty cool. Like the Knights of Old Republic is technically not canon right now.
Okay.
You know?
Do you think they're trying to get Darth Revan in?
Oh, that would be a good move. I mean, Darth Raven is a very loved character from the Star Wars.
Very
fan.
powerful because he has both the Sith side powers and the Jedi.
Yeah, and he looks fucking cool. He's got the Mandalorian mask, you know. He looks really fucking cool.
Now, there's one thing I didn't know is
rumors of Keanu Reeves wanting to play him.
The Mandalorians were at war with the Jedi, and the reason why the Mandalorians have that armor is to deflect the lightsabers.
Well, they're
that's why they wear their armor.
All their tools are to be able to kill Jedi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just you know what? I've kind of given up on the whole Jedi and Sith thing. I'm loving Mandalorians, dude. They're just awesome.
And I hope they expand on Mandalorians in the second season and not dilute it too much with nostalgia and, you know, bringing all these fucking characters, because they got a lot of characters coming up. They got Rex. They got Rex, who's being played by the same guy that played Jango Fett.
Yep.
They got Ahsoka Tano,
a.k.a. Aquaman's dad.
Oh, in the movie? Okay.
Yeah.
Boba Fett's supposed to show up.
Now,
that would be good.
How are they going to do that? Because he's in that monster that, it takes several centuries to digest?
Yeah, so they're going to have to figure out how he got out of that. But unless Legends has some reason that he got out.
But, I mean, he's freaking Boba Fett, so he'll be able to find a way, I guess. But,
and they're supposed... Are they being played by the same person?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's the way they should.
Question. Do you think that with Mandalorian that they will be able to... Oh, man, I completely lost my train of thought. Mandalorian Season 2, that those Mandalorians... you think we will be able to see those? Do you think they're all dead, or do you think that they are probably just hiding, and that that lady who makes their armor and stuff was probably just lying to them that they're all dead?
No, I think there's Mandalorian out there, because there's going to be Katie Sackhoff is showing up, and she's a Mandalorian.
Okay.
Yeah, she's Bo-Katan.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I really hope they expand on the Mandalorians a little more, and explanation for why they don't take their helmets off is needed.
And why are they so secluded? Why are they hiding?
Yeah.
Now that the Empire is gone and the Jedi are all but extinct, I mean, you think it would be the best chance of any for the Mandalorians to bring their culture back?
But there's a lot of Jedi out right at that time.
At the end of the Empire?
Yeah. There's Ezra Bridger still.
Oh yeah, and Luke.
Which
Luke
I don't like.
making his.
Yeah, they should have killed Ezra Bridger because it should have been only Luke and maybe Ahsoka Tano. That's it. Because, come on, like that just makes it fucking too much. Like Ezra Bridger, I mean, did you see the end of Rebels?
No.
Oh yeah, it was kind of goofy. They have these whales. There's these whales that can go to light speed.
Holy hell, man!
They're space whales though.
I don't even know if I want to start watching it. That sounds a little very cheesy.
Yeah, I didn't watch the entire show. I just watched I did watch that ending, but yeah. What else do we got?
So let me look at my notes here. We got we talk about DC Fandome, Star Wars. Yeah, I think that's about it, man. We covered a lot today.
Well, we'll wrap it up. Thank you for staying with us on What the Sci-Fi. Are you ready to wrap it up?
Yeah, I'm ready to wrap it up, man. You all have a good week. That's coming up, and stay safe out there. It's definitely a time when we need to take care of each other, take care of yourselves, your family, and you know, if you're feeling down, put on a freaking sci-fi movie, man. It always makes us feel better.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. All right,
peace.
You've been listening to What the Sci-Fi.